Oh, hey there. Have you seen my friends? I think I was knocked out by a tree branch that fell on my head. I don't know.
You must be wondering why that happened.
What?
The branch that fell on you is because of the thing I call law of inertia.
The law of what now?
The law of inertia, the resistance of an object to change its velocity.
Who are you anyway?
I discovered the three laws of motion.
I forgot how to look for my friends.
Wait, calm down. Tell us what happened slowly.
I think a branch fell on my head and I was knocked out.
You were knocked out? Then what happened?
I was in a dream and I saw this man. He was wearing a jacket and I couldn't see his face, but he told me he conceptualized the laws of motion.
So you're telling me that you don't know who the Isaac Newton is?
That's why I'm asking you guys.
He's my idol. He's a great scientist, mathematician, and philosopher who did amazing things.
He also contributed a lot of things to various fields like physics and math. He's the most famous for discovering the laws of motion. To understand this better, maybe we should ask Althea to help us explain this topic. Look, there she is.
Hi guys, I think I heard someone calling my name.
You should help us teach Nigel about the laws of motion.
Great! Let's start.
Hi, I'm Raven.
I'm Colin.
Hi, my name is Carol, and I am part of the first group of Explorer. But sadly, I am not part of the mission. But don't worry, I am here to help them explain the law of inertia to you guys.
And I'm Althea. We are the first group of explorers explaining the laws of motion. But before we begin, we must know how, when, and where the laws of motion was conceptualized.
The law of motion was conceptualized in 1687. It happened in Woolscope Garden when an apple fell on Isaac.
There are three laws of motion: the law of inertia, the law of acceleration, and the law of action and reaction. But right now, we are going to focus on the first law, the law of inertia.
But before we talk more about the first law, we must know what inertia means.
Inertia is the tendency to resist any change. It is when an object opposes change in motion.
Inertia is possessed by any object that has mass. The more massive an object is, the more inertia it has. Meaning, if the object has more mass, it has more tendency to resist change in motion.
Can anyone explain what mass is?
Mass is the amount of matter an object contains. It is the measure of resistance to acceleration. The unit for mass is kilograms or kg.
Wait, so it's just the weight of an object?
Of course not. Although people always get confused between mass and weight, they are completely different. As I said, mass is the quantity of matter an object contains, while weight, it is the amount of gravitational force an object experiences. They both have the same unit, but they are completely different from each other.
Oh, I get what mass means now. But can you guys still explain what inertia means? I still don't get it.
Imagine a motorcycle and a truck moving at the same velocity. If you will change these two vehicles' direction or velocity, you will see that the truck, which is more massive, will needing more effort and force. This is because the truck has more inertia than the motorcycle. The more inertia an object has, the harder it is to change its velocity and direction.
To understand inertia better, think of a 5-year-old kid trying to move a heavy table with heavy objects on top of it. No matter how much force the kid exerts, the table will still not move because of the amount of inertia it has. The inertia of the object will be too much, so no matter how much the kid pushes it, it will stay stationary because of the inertia of the table is larger than the kid's inertia.
But wait, what really is the law of inertia?
The law of inertia states that an object at rest remains at rest and an object in motion stays in that kind of motion unless acted upon by an external force. This means that a moving or stationary object will not change its state unless a direct force is applied to it.
The law of inertia states that a moving object will not accelerate on its own. It will only accelerate if a not external force acts on it to oppose the tendency of resistance.
Wait, I still don't get it. Can you guys tell me what the law of inertia is by giving me some examples?
Oh my god, Nigel, you still don't get it?
Sorry guys, could you give me some more examples so I can understand them better?
5. A scenario that shows the law of inertia is whenever we push or kick a ball.
Wait, but how does that show the first law of inertia?
When the ball rolls on the ground, its speed is constant, as well as its direction. It will not accelerate nor change its direction unless a direct force is applied to it by either pushing or stopping it. Its velocity will remain the same and will not change.
Another example is a shaking branch of a tree. As you can see, the leaves get detached. This is because of the first law of motion.
Wait! How is that even connected to the law of inertia?
Really? I thought you know what the law of inertia is. How come you don't even know this?
It's not my fault. Don't expect me to know everything. Colin is right. This equation exemplifies the first law of motion. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. When the branch of the tree is in motion, the leaves try to be at rest. But because the tree is in motion, the leaves fall down to the ground.
Yes, and I have another situation that exemplifies the first law of motion. Imagine a cup on the table and then you accidentally pushed it. The cup, which was on the table, will fall into the ground. This is because you exerted force on a stationary object, causing it to move.
Yes, and your inertia is much more larger than the cup. So it was easy for you to move even though you did not exert so much force and effort. Do you still need more examples about the first law or not?
Can you guys give me one more example so I know that what the law of inertia is already?
Another example is whenever we run. Sometimes we are running too fast, that's why it's harder for us to stop or turn. This is also because of the law of inertia.
Wow, that's so incredible. I never thought there would be an explanation for behind that situation. One last example, guys.
Okay, before you enter a house or a room that has a closed door, what do you do?
I knock.
No, Nigel, not that.
I'm sorry, you don't just expect me to barge in a room without knocking first. That's a bit disrespectful.
Okay, what do you do after you knock?
I open the door.
Exactly. And what happens when you try to move or open it?
I don't know, it moves.
Yes, Nigel, the door moves. And do you know why that happens?
Let me guess. Inertia?
That's right, the door moves due to the law of inertia. As you exert force on the door, it moves from being stationary. If anyone did not move or open the door, it will remain closed and at rest.
You guys keep on talking about inertia, but yet I don't know why it's important and what we could use it for.
We can connect safety to inertia in many different ways. Because of the law of inertia, it is harder for vehicles to stop moving, especially when its mass and velocity is larger. This is why we need to be more careful when driving to avoid accidents.
And at last, it is important to also wear seatbelts in order for us to not go flying out the window. When we experience a car crash, the car immediately stops moving, but our bodies don't. A seatbelt can make us stay seated on our chairs even on extreme crashes.
You guys keep on talking about inertia, but yet we still don't know why it's important to learn about inertia.
Inertia is very important to us because this law is present in our daily lives.
This also helps us understand about how things work scientifically. Knowing the laws of motion will make us more educated about how the world works.
Wow, I really am amazed how I didn't know the law of inertia back then.
Maybe, if you'd listened to our science teacher back then, maybe you'd understand how amazing the law of motions are.
Excuse me? I listened to my teacher.
Really, Nigel? You're saying you listened back then when you don't even know the law of inertia?
Well, maybe I was absent when the teacher discussed that.
Really, Nigel? You're absent for 1 week?
I think you just didn't understand the lesson when you were young.
I think so. I remembered not liking physics back then.
Are you serious? You didn't like physics back then?
Yeah, I didn't know it was so confusing and full of computations.
Well, I can't blame you for that. I kind of hate physics back then. It makes my head hurt.
How about you, Althea and Raven? Did you like physics back then?
Yeah, I did. It was actually my favorite branch of science.
Same. It's so fun and interesting.
But Nigel, are you sure you learned anything about the law of inertia?
Of course I did. You guys did a great job of explaining this topic.
Did you really understand our topic, or are you just saying this to convince us?
Yeah, and now I know what the law of inertia is.
If you really did, then what is law of inertia?
It states that an object will remain at its state unless acted upon by a force.
That's right. How about inertia?
It is the resistance of an object to move.
And what is mass?
It is the amount of matter an object contains. It is different from weight, even though they have the same unit. It is because weight is the amount of gravitational force an object experiences.
Wow, Nigel. It's good that now you understand the first law.
Since our mission here is done, maybe we can go back to the city now and take a rest from all the work.
Great idea, Carol. I really need to take a rest and take a nap on my comfy bed.
I finally got back home. I think I should take a nap first. Hey, are you Isaac Newton?
Why, yes, I am.
How do you know my name?
Well, I know everything about anyone who is interested in the art of science.
That's amazing, but can you tell me why I'm here right now?
You are here because you have lots of potential.
Wait, but is it true that you conceptualize the laws of motion? Wow, that's so amazing. I can't believe I'm actually looking at Isaac Newton. You're my role model. I wish to be like you in the future because you're so smart and talented.
Oh, kid, you can be whatever you like. Just believe in yourself.
Really? Thanks, but I could never be like you.
I know you will. You have a love for science, just like me. Well, it's time to go now, Nigel. Goodbye. Study hard.
Wow, what an awesome dream. I finally got back home. I think I should take a nap first. Hey, are you Isaac Newton?
Why, yes, I am.
How do you know my name?
Well, I know everything about anyone who is interested in the art of science.
That's amazing, but can you tell me why I'm here right now?
You are here because you have lots of potential.
Wait, but is it true that you conceptualize the laws of motion? Wow, that's so amazing. I can't believe I'm actually looking at Isaac Newton. You're my role model. I wish to be like you in the future because you're so smart and talented.
Oh, kid, you can be whatever you like. Just believe in yourself.
Really? Thanks, but I could never be like you.
I know you will. You have a love for science, just like me. Well, it's time to go now, Nigel. Goodbye. Study hard.
Wow, what an awesome dream.